Welcome to Cairo in Egypt, hosting the 2017 Uipm Modern Pentathlon Senior World Championships. Held for the first time on African soil, 21 medals on offer to 169 athletes from 29 nations. And just to explain for those new to modern pentathlon, it's a multi-skilled challenge which sees athletes put to the test over 5 disciplines in one day. A 200-metre swim, the round-robin épée fencing, the riding, and finally the combined laser pistol shooting, a 3,200-metre run event. It's a unique and exciting, tough test of all-round Olympic sporting abilities. The men and women compete separately, then join forces for a mixed relay to close the 3 days of competition. So with the scene set, we go straight to the men's competition, and among the athletes here we find some of the big hitters. Valentin Bello of France, the 24-year-old, ranked 5th but still the show's best so far this year. No sign of him on the podium, but he won the French Championships in June, so there's plenty of potential. The stats showing he's that rare beast, the consummate all-rounder. Alexander Lizun from Russia, the reigning Olympic champion, ranked 6th going into the event. On the podium in LA, he won the European Seniors in Belarus, but still to show his peak form. The evidence shows he's strongest in the fencing. Pavlo Timoshenko, Olympic silver medalist, the Ukrainian currently ranked world #1 and never outside the top 4 throughout the World Cup season. Weakest perhaps in the pool and on horseback, but he's strong in the fencing and laser run. Fresh new faces in evidence though, among them Korea's Won Tae-jun, freshly up from the juniors and already making his mark in the seniors, having won the World Cup stop in Poland.
저번 시즌에 더 훨씬
I have been really happy with this season, even though I didn't do much training over the winter after the Olympic Games last year. But my results have been good, so I'm happy with the training decisions I made. This is the last big international competition of the season, so I'm aiming to get in the top 3. Next season is the Asian Games, which are very important, and 2020 is the Olympic Games in Tokyo, so this is what I'm building to with my training. In Korea, the history of pentathlon is very short, but we have many good male and female pentathletes, so we will be pushing hard next season in the Asian Games and then towards the Olympics for medals. The Korean pentathletes are like one big family. We train well together and we all want to see each other be successful.
And so here at the Pegasus Club facility close to the pyramids of Giza, it's time to get down to business as the action in the men's final moves first to the pool. Some great performances so far. Valentin Bello there among those progressing through to Heat 2, which is where we join the action with our commentator Tim Capel.
Well, coming into this heat, the fastest man in qualifying was Fabian Lieberg of Germany. He's out there in lane 4, but he would fail to reproduce that form here today when it mattered most. But France's Valentin Bello did. The gold medal winner from Moscow back in 2016, saving his best until it really did matter the most here. He'd be pressed hard there by Chicano in lane 2 of Belarus, also going well. Keep an eye out as well in lane 5 for Justinas Kinderis of Lithuania, the 3-time world gold medalist, going strongly as well. Into the final 25 meters here, it is Bello then in lane 3, who just begins to extend his lead here. Bello from Chicano in lane 2. Kinderas trying to close the gap down, but it's going to be between Bello in lane 3. He's going to hang on to take this here just. Bello in lane 3 of France then from Chicano of Belarus in 2nd place. Kinderas is going to take 3rd place. Winning time then for Valentin Bello, 2:07.27. Well, here's Won Tae-jun then of Korea, one to keep an eye on because he's had an excellent year in the pool so far. Uipm will go in lane 3. One of the favourites here, Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland, going in lane 4. Keep an eye out for the other Korean in the field, Uipm in lane 5. A good start by Joseph or Jo Chung of Great Britain there. In lane 2 is going well at this moment. Uipm in lane 5 also going well. Fastest in the qualifying was Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland, coming in 2:01.48. But as we said, those two Koreans, Uipm in lane 5, who was only marginally slower than O'Keefe, and Won-tae-yoon in lane 3, still going strongly as well. O'Keefe then, the 25-year-old from Ireland, going well, renewing that rivalry that he had with Chung. Remember, he beat him by 2 places to finish 8th in the Rio Olympics a year ago. But he's just got the edge at the moment there. Chung, who was the first British athlete, you might remember a few years ago now, who won a European under-16 title. His career still going very much on an upward curve. But at the turn, it's those 4 who are still very much in it here. Jo Chung in lane 2, Uipm in lane 5, Won-tae-yoon in lane 3, and Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland there in lane 4. The field now just beginning to split a little. So as we come to the turn then, there's about a half a second in the final 50 metres to go here between them. And Jo Chung of Great Britain had a great turn there. Lanigan O'Keefe of Ireland is pressing him hard. The Korean Uipm isn't out of it yet either. But it's Jo Chung of Great Britain who's had a fantastic race here, certainly in the last 100 metres. And he is extending his stroke here. He is going to come and win this unless there's a great comeback from O'Keefe in the final 10 or 15 metres. But it is going to be Jo Chung of Great Britain. Look at the time, 2:00.87. O'Keefe in second place and Young in third.
That was tough, definitely very tough, but I'm very pleased with that because I've dropped a couple of seconds since the semi-final. I just changed it up a little bit. I think in the final I went out a bit too hard. I felt too good having rested like the 3 days before, so I died in the second 100, but here I paced it much more evenly and dropped 2 seconds, which is great. I had an idea that I think I was behind with 50 to go, but I was up there, and I knew I felt a lot better coming into the last 50 than I had done before, so I was quite confident that I had it.
So Joseph Chung upsetting the apple cart slightly by pushing the 2 Koreans down into 3rd and 4th, and a strong showing from Ireland's Arthur Lanigan O'Keefe, giving him the points for 2nd. Moving on apace, the men next go into the fencing, each of them facing one another, 35 bouts each in this, the opening stage, a round robin. Alexander Lisun of Russia doing as well as expected. Also Jin-Hwa-jun of Korea and Robert Kaza of Hungary emerging as the strongest contenders from the round robin. Moving on now to the deciding bonus round, where we join commentator Tim Cable.
Kinderis then of Lithuania up against Tymoshenko, then the world's #1, and it was just too much of an ask in the end for Kinderis, the Lithuanian here. A great counter from Tymoshenko wins the bout. Hamad of Egypt against Tymoshenko, then fencing, a favourite event of the Russian police officer here, but it wasn't going to be by the end of this bout because Hamad, the 24-year-old from Egypt, keeps the interest going for the home crowd because he would take a significant scalp. So Hamad, the world's #10, up against Joseph Chung of Great Britain, who finished in 10th place in the Olympic Games in Rio last year. He's had a decent enough start as Chung, but it isn't going to be good enough because Hamad takes the bout. So next into the fray then, it is Kaza, the world ranked #5. Hamad has already ousted Tymoshenko, the world's #1. Can he do the same again here? Tentative start though here from Hamad. Kaza on the defensive, takes the right of way, trying to attack Hamad, fends him off again, parries well. And it is, with that riposte, it is Kaza who's going to win here. Yin Hwa-yoon then of South Korea, who was again exceptional in the round-robin event up against Kaza, who we've seen just put out Islam Hamad. So these two neck and neck in the early stages of the competition. So Yin Hwa-yoon then looking to continue this fine start to these World Championships that he had, but immediately Kaza has decided to go on the attack. He's taken the right away here. And it goes in on the attack, but again, the parry and riposte from Yin Hwa-yoon has won the bout here. Fine performance from the South Korean. So Yin Hwa-yoon of South Korea wins the fencing event ahead of Kaza, and this is how they stand then after 2 events.
And so much more still to come from Egypt, the men's riding and laser run, plus all the women's and mixed relay coverage coming up after the break.